right, you guys, today's video, YouTube, we are talking about the top 10 guns that are being used in Call of Duty Warzone right now, aka the meta. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a prediction, which I am right about between 75% of the time and 90% of the time on what the future meta is going to be. I know we have Vanguard coming out, so I'm sure a lot of people that are getting into Warzone now want to know which guns they need to have leveled up and all that good stuff. So I will let you guys know my predictions at the end of the video on what the future meta is going to be. So let's take a look at some stats and see what the meta is. So today, guys, we are looking at Warzone Ranked, wzranked.com. The great thing about this website is there's lots of data on it within. You can look up yourself, you can look up other people and all that good stuff, but they have the top weapons being used ranked right here for us right now in Call of Duty Warzone. I typically would tell you guys to come to my channel to find out what the meta is, because I know exactly what's going on 99% of the time, which is true. But if you guys ever want quick details and numbers, Warzone Ranked has it right here for you. They have great stats, and I'll give you guys the builds and all that stuff for the guns, which you can click on these guns and they'll tell you the builds and what people are using, but it's kind of a disaster because it shows so much detail that you really don't know which one you should be running. So go to my channel to find out the builds and that kind of stuff. I also have in the description below my loadout guide. I have every single loadout that I run, every build for every gun in the game that I use. It's phenomenal. It's a Google Sheets. You just click on the link below and it'll bring you every single one you ever want, and I update it. So if you ever need updated ideas or what you want to run for a gun for a day, check that out. But also the YouTube channel has a lot of detail here. So looking at the stats here, let's don't blabber too much. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Kar 98K is number one. Are we surprised? Not at all. Kar 98K has been the meta since I predicted it was going to be the meta. For any OGers of the stream or the YouTube channel, YouTube channel, same thing. Not really, because they're separate, but anyone that has been around, the Kar 98K I predicted. I broke it out in either season 3 or season 4 of Modern Warfare, and it ended up becoming the meta around the last season of Modern Warfare or the first season of Cold War. And I predicted it, and I beat the meta by like 3 months. And everyone, literally, I have friends that were telling me, Rick, you are dumb. Why are you using the Kar 98K? Sam, yes, you said it, and now it's your favorite gun you've ever touched. So yeah, 100%. I was on top of the meta on that one, ahead of the game, about 3 months ahead. No one saw it coming other than me, because I go off a feel on guns, guys. So I was like, Kar 98K, easy. Feels so good, barely. I just had to learn the bullet drop, and then it was phenomenal. And so right here, we have a 9.52 pick ratio with a 0.95 KD. I'm actually surprised the KD isn't higher than the Swiss's, because you would think it would be, but maybe there's just like more people that kind of got into Warzone during Cold War when it kind of popped off during COVID, but I have no idea. At the end of the day, it had 2 COVID years of Warzone, and both Modern Warfare and Cold War those 2 years. So I guess it's irrelevant, my point. But the Swiss is inferior to the Kar 98K in one regard. Kar 98K has less flinch. Other than that, they're almost identical. Almost identical ADS speeds, almost identical bullet travel, almost identical bullet velocity. So the drop on it's literally so much fun to use both of them. They're my 2 favorite snipers in the game. I've been talking about it for a while. And at the end of the video, guys, like I said, I have builds for the top 10 guns here. What's funny about it is the top 10 guns here, well, I don't have the top 10. I have like 12 guns that I have, but there was 12 guns on this list that I already had builds for, which is hilarious right now. So, guys, back to the data. Swiss is not good compared to the Kar 98K, but it's fun. It feels almost the same, but this Kar 98K is better. Number 3, we have the Cold War AK-47. Cold War AK-47 was predicted by ya boy. I know I sound a little cocky right now, because I should be. I honestly predicted this one. This one I will take to my grave, that no one was even touching, and I was like, this is really good and this is the meta, and no one believed me. The reason the pick rate's so high on this, though, is because it's very good as a sniper support. A lot of people don't love it as an AR, and it became the meta for a short period of time, and now the EM2 got buffed again, and the EM2 is a little bit better than it, in my opinion, because they both do very good at medium range, but the EM2 has a little bit more predictable recoil and a little bit more consistency to it. But that's why the pick rate's high on it. It's because you're using it as an AR, and some people are using it as a sniper support. You can see right here it has about a 1.10 KD. Nothing too crazy compared to some of these next guns you're going to see, but that's pretty solid. Then we have the OTS 9. I think everyone kind of loves this gun. I will say TP should get the rights to this gun because he was the only one using it at the beginning and he fell in love with it. I watched a stream a bunch and I was like, all right, let's give it a go. And I fell in love with it. The movement speed on it is so good. It's never had very good range, and they even nerfed the range even more recently, thinking that would be enough, but the movement on it's so smooth that you just get on top of people before they even know it, and you like one-shot them because the people die instantly with this gun. And you can tell that the KD ratio, 1.40, is higher than a lot of these other ones because you really have to play to the gun. If you don't play to the OTS 9, you're not going to do good. And so good players with this in their hand are really pushing that KD up. It's the same thing with the EM2. The EM2 is not good at long range. But at medium range, the only gun that you have a shot against is if you hit headshots with the AK-47. But if this person hits headshots, you actually kill it faster. So fingers crossed on whoever wins that gunfight, but they're absolutely insane right now, the AK-47 and the EM2. And then my third ranked AR would actually probably be either the XM4 or the C58, which is actually ranked pretty low here. Very solid, but you can see here another crazy KD here because people are playing to the strengths of the gun. The strengths of that gun is medium range, the EM2. XM4 is a little bit better at long range than the EM2, but it has a very similar recoil. The recoil on it is very much just up and down. The same thing with the EM2. It just feels a little bit smoother at distance. I don't know what it is exactly. I know it's because they did smooth out the recoil at one point and that helped a lot, but it's also a decent sniper support if you run it as an iron sight. It was like the best one in the game for a while, but they've nerfed it and tried to turn it into a main AR, which is good at the end of the day. The Mac10 was one of my favorite SMGs. Like, the reason this is number 7 on the list is because it's just like so consistent. It's not the best ever anymore, and it's not ever like the worst. It is like a top 5, top 3 SMG at all times. Great movement. You can actually have a build on it to make it the fastest gun in the game. Movement speed wise, fastest, not time to kill. And then we have awesome range and great strafing speed. So like at the end of the day, you really can't go wrong with it, and it has a very competitive time to kill. So it's a lover. COD Misty, thanks for the sub. We haven't had one of those in a while, so I always say thank you to the subscribers if they happen to come on in during a recording. It's a little fun thing I like to do. So subscribe if you guys want to get into the video potentially. Next, we have the Bullfrog. Oh, wait. Oh, I skipped one. The Growl. I'm scuffed, by the way. Growl right now is honestly surprising to see on the list. The reason it's on the list, though, is because there is an addiction to this gun. People love the Growl for some reason. I don't know why. It's a pea shooter at this point in time. Yes, it's easy to use, and sometimes you pick it up and you're like, oh my god, this gun's broken. It's so strong. And then other times when you're not hitting your shots, you're like, oh, this gun actually sucks. So that's why. The statistics on this gun are actually bad. The only reason it's up there is because it's like a fan favorite gun, and people started playing Warzone when it was like at its peak, where the Growl was broken in the game, and people still stick to that gun because it's pretty easy to use for most people. The Bullfrog is a very interesting weapon. 0.92 KD, 4% pick rate. The reason this gun makes it into the top 10, it's very noob friendly because you can put literally an 85 round mag on it, and it starts with a 50 round mag, which is bigger than almost every SMG. I think Mac10 has a 55, but pretty much like up there for size of a mag. And for high level players, it has great movement, and the headshot multiplier is nuts. It's actually one of the fastest time to kills in the game if you hit some headshots. But if you don't hit some headshots, this thing is a pea shooter for the most part. So if you're not hitting headshots, I wouldn't really recommend using the Bullfrog, but it's a solid overall weapon, and it has somewhat decent range for an SMG. This is actually the Cold War MP5. I love the Cold War MP5. I need you guys to tell me in the YouTube comments, like, Rick, use the Cold War MP5 as your main SMG. It's like I don't miss shots when I use it, and my movement feels like Joe Woes. I don't know what it is about that gun, but everything just goes perfect when I use it. It's just straight up amazing. I love it. It's so good. But I like never really use it. I'm always testing other guns out because I know it's solid. Time to kill wise, it's very good up close. It has been nerfed at range, but it's very solid. And I do think it is like, I'm not going to get to my predictions just yet. Got a couple more things to talk about, but it's very, very solid right now. And then before we get to the predictions, like I was just saying, don't use the FFAR. The FFAR is trash right now. They have absolutely nerfed it into the ground. The bullet velocity feels horrible. The damage is not good. Do not touch the FFAR. If you're using the FFAR currently, I'm surprised to see it this high on the list. Also, the kilo is very average right now. M13, Cloaksy has pushed that gun into number 16. It's not great right now either. The Krig has been nerfed to the ground. Absolutely. And then other than that, everything kind of looks solid. So I just wanted to get those out there. So don't use those guns. Just don't use them. And for Rikar's predictions on the future meta. If you guys have been around the stream, I'm always testing out the future meta and predicting. Pretty obvious a lot of the times. But going into Vanguard coming out, it is a little bit tougher because obviously they have absolutely shafted Modern Warfare weapons. Look at the top 10. There is literally 2. And it doesn't get, it actually gets a little bit better here. But top 10, 2 of them. That's not great by any means. So last but not least, the predictions. And then after that, we will get to the loadouts and builds of these weapons. So with Call of Duty currently, we are going into Vanguard. Vanguard has about 30 days until it gets implemented, roughly 34 days I think is left on the battle pass. That's the prediction for when we're going to get Vanguard implemented into Warzone. So that's going to be the next big patch. There might be a mid-season update for this season, but it's probably going to be small. Maybe they'll be smart and give us like Iron Trials time to kill in regular game mode, but I don't think we're going to get lucky like that. Going forward though, you guys want to know what guns are worth using and leveling for people that haven't been around Warzone that much. What's going to be very good going forward? So I'm not going to give the obvious, like some of these, like the XM4 probably won't get touched, and a few Growl's not getting a buff anytime soon. 4 AK is probably going to get a nerf, but sometimes gets swept under. Those are just obvious things. The meta that you are not going to see is going to be the M4A1. The M4A1 right now is super slept on. You see it's number 12 on the list here, but time to kill wise, it's in the top, I think 5 or 6 on ARs, and the movement feels good. You can use it as an iron sight, or you can use it as a 3x build like you've always been able to. And then the PPSH is my number 1 go-to. Like, I think the PPSH is going to be the SMG. Like, the OTS9 is gonna get another nerf. It's going to. And then the Mac10 is gonna stay where it's at. People don't absolutely love that gun anymore just because of the OTS has kind of turned your gun into this gun that needs to kill people really, really fast. Mac10 does it sometimes if you hit your shots perfectly, but the PPSH has statistically a faster time to kill. My other predictions for this is going to be something like the AMAX. The AMAX might come back. This is kind of on like the edge of predictions. I've been using it in Rebirth and it feels awesome. It feels very, very good right now. It's very much a medium range gun, so it worked great in Rebirth, but I haven't tested it on Verdansk too much. I imagine the recoil at long range still sucks. So if you haven't used it recently, give it a go on Rebirth and you will have a great time. And then my number 1 prediction, actually I already said my number 1 is going to be the PPSH. I can't say number 1 twice, but the FFAR. I predicted this probably a month ago. I put it as my number 1 sniper support, and then I made a video on it a little bit after that. The FFAR right now is phenomenal, and people are sleeping on it, and I don't know why. The time to kill is so good on it. I think a lot of people are just like addicted to the movement speed that Cold War SMGs have. I saw J God starting to use it, which welcome to a month late as usual. He doesn't play the game for future predictions like I do. I love J God, and I hope he watches this video somehow. Hi J God. I love his videos, and I watch pretty much all of them. Follow him on Twitter, follow everything that guy does. But I play the game off of feel, and I predict the meta. It's pretty much my niche. Like, I'm very good at it, and the FFAR is insane right now, and people not using it out there, go and use it as a sniper support right now. You can use it as an SMG as well, but like I said, it is a little bit clunky compared to what you're running right now with the OTS 9, because that's crazy movement speed, and then you're going to drop down to FFAR. Like, it's not like, it's going to be a clunky change, but as a sniper support, it feels phenomenal. So that's the meta. Let's go into some builds for you guys so you guys can see all these and how you're supposed to build them. All right, you guys, so I'm just literally going to go through my loadouts here for you because they actually have all the builds. Like, legitimately, almost every one of these guns I just talked about. So C58, you guys can pause them and take a look at it and what the build is, but this is pretty much your consistently, everyone's going to run the same build. OTS 9, I have a slight different build than a lot of people, but this build is phenomenal. Trust me, if you haven't tried it out, give it a go. It's very, very good. Movement speed heavy. Next, we have the Growl, which a lot of people love. This is your typical long range. If you want to go to an iron sight build, you can go and put on the tac laser. And then I actually do have the Modern Warfare MP5. I didn't think I had it. Oh, I do have it. That's my favorite build. I've always loved this build. And then you can also throw the 5mm for a little bit more hip fire if you'd like. The Kar 98K, this is my baby. It's been my baby for a long time. Can't go wrong with that build. The Bullfrog, this is more of a movement speed build, 50 round mag. You can switch for an 85 round mag. If I was gonna get rid of something, I'd probably get rid of the stock first. Next, we have the Mac10. Mac10 is always great. This has, the great thing about this build is it has pretty solid range, sound suppressor instead of the agency suppressor because it just feels phenomenal. Strafe speed from the Raider stock, great movement speed with the Tiger team. Trust, it's a beast. I love it, and almost no recoil. Some people be like, you need to have an underbarrel on it. If you want to go fast, you can throw the patrol grip on it or the bruiser grip, whichever one you prefer. I usually prefer the bruiser, actually, but I wouldn't put there's no reason to put one on here. It's already an extremely fast weapon. AK-47 long range, can't go wrong. And also, I always use the green dot reticle right here for you guys. Absolutely beast right now. EM2 right here. Basically the consensus best AR in the game right now. Cannot go wrong. Modern Warfare AUG. A little sleeper for you guys. Really fast time to kill in the game right now. Talk about it a little bit more in yesterday's video if you guys want to check that out. It's going to be with this build for both of those guns. And then we have the Swiss. The Swiss. Trust me, sound moderator over to the agency. Unless you're going for only long range shots and you're camping, it's better. And then I have the Serpent Rip on there as well. That's my favorite build. There is a couple other builds that you can run with it though. And then the AKA sniper support. Awesome. Phenomenal. I do think the FFAR is a little bit better right now though, and I surprisingly don't have it on because I was testing out the STG yesterday. So I'm excited for Vanguard. I unfortunately won't be here for Vanguard. For those that have been following and have known the stream for a little bit now or been on a YouTube channel, because I've been trying to tell you guys, I'm going to Hawaii, and unfortunately they don't ever tell us the release date, I think. So this got bucked literally right before the release date got up, and now I've been like punching myself in the nuts every day, being like, I'm gonna miss release, and it literally comes out the day we leave. So I'm gonna be like 5 days behind you guys, and I will try to keep up as much as I can. Obviously, I will probably put together like a vlog or something for the YouTube channel during that Hawaii trip just to make up for not being here, but we'll keep up, we'll catch up, we'll find out what's going on, we'll keep ahead of the game as usual. But obviously the big integration is gonna be for Warzone, which I will be here for 10,000%. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff so you can find your way back for more content. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.